Staying informed about current events is more important today than ever before. The world is a very connected place, which means something happening far away can affect our lives here at home. When we read or watch the news, we are not just learning about stories. We are learning about the world we all share. This knowledge helps us make better decisions for ourselves, our families, and our communities. It gives us the power to understand complex situations, form our own opinions, and participate in important conversations about the direction our country is heading. Without this information, we are left in the dark, unable to fully grasp the forces that shape our daily existence. Understanding the news helps us see the bigger picture. It connects the dots between international conflicts and the price we pay for gas, or between a policy decision in Washington and the jobs available in our town. These connections are not always obvious, but they are always there. Following the news is like putting together a puzzle. Each story is a single piece, and as we gather more pieces, a clearer image of our world begins to emerge. This understanding is essential for being an engaged and responsible citizen in a global society where events are constantly unfolding and changing. Furthermore, being aware of what is happening around us can help keep us safe. Information about public health issues, severe weather, or local emergencies allows us to prepare and protect ourselves and our loved ones. Today, for example, we see reports of violence that remind us to be vigilant and aware of our surroundings. The news provides critical alerts and updates that can be vital in a crisis. It acts as a public service, delivering information that can make a real difference in moments of uncertainty and danger, guiding us through difficult times with clarity and facts. Finally, knowing the news builds a sense of community. When we talk about shared events, whether they are tragic or triumphant, we connect with other people. It opens up dialogue and allows us to share perspectives, find common ground, and support one another. Discussing the day's headlines, from international tensions to domestic policies, helps us understand what is important to our neighbors and fellow citizens. This shared awareness strengthens the bonds between us, creating a more informed and cohesive society that is better equipped to face challenges together. A very serious conflict has exploded in the Middle East. On this day, June 14, 2025, Israel launched a major military attack against Iran. The targets included important nuclear sites and military bases inside Iranian territory. This was an unprecedented move, taking the long-standing shadow war between the two nations into direct and open conflict. In response to the attack, Iran immediately fired many missiles toward major cities in Israel, such as Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. The world is now watching a dangerous situation that could grow into a much larger war, pulling in other countries in the region and beyond. The United States is deeply involved in this developing crisis. As a close ally of Israel, the United States has publicly stated its strong support for Israel's right to defend itself against threats. Reports also indicate that American military forces, along with other allied nations, helped to intercept some of the Iranian missiles that were fired at Israel. President Donald Trump has issued a strong warning to Iran, urging them to accept a nuclear agreement to avoid further destruction. This involvement places the United States in a critical position, trying to support its ally while also working to prevent the conflict from spreading uncontrollably. The human cost of this sudden conflict is already significant and tragic. In Iran, officials have reported that at least 78 people have been killed, including some high-ranking military officers, and more than 300 others have been wounded. In Israel, the missile attacks have resulted in at least 2 civilian deaths and many injuries. Pictures from Tel Aviv show serious damage to apartment buildings and other civilian structures. These numbers represent real people and families whose lives have been shattered by the violence, highlighting the terrible price of war on both sides of the conflict. The international community is reacting with great alarm to these events. At the United Nations, nations are taking different sides. China has condemned Israel's initial attack, calling for restraint and diplomacy to resolve the tensions. Meanwhile, Israel's ambassador to the United States has declared that his country is now in war with the Iranian government, making a clear distinction between the regime and the people of Iran. This global division shows how difficult it will be to find a peaceful solution as world powers line up behind different actors in this rapidly escalating and highly volatile conflict. While international tensions are high, serious events are also unfolding within the United States. In the state of Minnesota, communities are on high alert because of a series of shootings. On Saturday, June 14, 2025, Police reported what they are calling targeted shootings in the cities of Champlin and Brooklyn Park, which are located in the eastern part of the state. These incidents have created a climate of fear and uncertainty for residents in the area. The governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, has been informed about the situation and is monitoring it closely as law enforcement agencies work to handle the threat. The police have launched a large-scale search for the person responsible for the shootings. The situation is especially dangerous because the suspect is reportedly pretending to be a law enforcement officer. This makes it very difficult for the public to know who to trust. Authorities have issued a shelter-in-place order for the area near the Edinburgh Golf Course, telling people to stay inside and lock their doors for their own safety. They have also warned the public not to approach the suspect if they see him, but instead to call 911 immediately. The search involves multiple police departments working together to find the suspect. This kind of violence deeply affects the sense of safety in a community. When shootings happen, especially when they are described as targeted, it makes people feel vulnerable in their own neighborhoods, workplaces, and public spaces. The fact that the suspect may be disguised as a police officer adds another layer of fear and complicates the public's trust in authority figures. Schools, businesses, and daily life are disrupted as people wait for news that the danger has passed. These events are a sad reminder of the problem of gun violence that continues to impact so many American communities. The response from law enforcement and government officials is critical in moments like these. Providing clear and timely information to the public is essential to prevent panic and help people stay safe. The coordinated effort to find the suspect shows how seriously authorities are taking the threat. For the residents of Champlin and Brooklyn Park, the hope is for a quick resolution that brings the suspect into custody without any more harm. These events highlight the daily challenges that police officers face and the importance of community cooperation in keeping neighborhoods safe from violence. Another major news story today focuses on future policies within the United States, specifically concerning immigration. Allies of former President Donald Trump are reportedly making detailed plans for a massive crackdown on undocumented immigrants if he is elected to office again. These plans, being developed in June 2025, would involve large-scale raids by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE. The proposed raids would be much bigger than anything seen during his first term in office, showing a very aggressive approach to immigration enforcement that would impact millions of people. The targets of these potential raids would be specific industries where many undocumented immigrants are known to work. This includes farms, food processing plants, and hotels across the country. To carry out such a large operation, the plans suggest using not only federal ICE agents, but also mobilizing National Guard troops and local police departments in some cases. The goal is to deport a very large number of people in a short amount of time. The planners are also busy drafting executive orders that would help them bypass legal challenges and overcome resistance from so-called sanctuary cities that limit cooperation with federal immigration agents. These proposals are causing a lot of concern among different groups. Business leaders, particularly in agriculture and hospitality, worry about the economic impact. These industries rely heavily on immigrant labor, and removing a large part of their workforce could lead to severe labor shortages and disruptions in the food supply chain. Human rights organizations are also raising alarms about the potential for separating families and violating the due process rights of individuals. The debate over these plans touches on fundamental questions about the economy, law, and the moral character of the nation. Ultimately, this story shows how important elections are in shaping the country's direction. The plans for immigration raids represent one possible future, while others might advocate for a different approach that includes pathways to citizenship or other reforms. Staying informed about these policy debates is crucial for every citizen. It allows people to understand the potential consequences of different political platforms and to make informed choices when they vote. The future of immigration policy will have a profound effect not just on immigrants, but on the entire economic and social fabric of the United States.